Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alisa Farrasa Kamila, and in this video, I'm going to talk about a reference book that I've read, and I'm going to review it and explain a bigger picture about the book. So the name of the book is The Cambridge Encyclopedia of the English Language, and in this slide, it's explaining about the book, and it's written by David Crystal, and the book is likely written around 1900. So it's kind of an old book, and it has a target audience from students, teachers, linguistic learners, and anyone interested in the English language. And this book is explains about history, development, structure, and global use of the English language. And it also discussing topics such as the origin of English, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciations, dialects, language variation, writing system, and the spread of English around the world. So the book it's kind of has a broad explanation topics uh, in the materials. And the book also combines academic explanation with visual examples and historical information. It's like making linguistic concept easier to understand. And the main theme of the book is that English is a dynamic and constantly changing language, influenced by culture, history, technology, and communication. So the focus of the book is like explaining the readers about English language in variety contexts and not just focusing on one field. And the next is I'm going to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the book. Surely in books it always contains strengths and weaknesses. The first one we're going to explore about the strengths. Okay, it's like the strengths of the book is it has comprehensive coverage. Like I said before, the central of the book contains a lot of things. It cover aspects like English language, including the history, phonology, grammar, vocabulary, also regional varieties, and global English. And the purpose, I think, the writer want to make the readers to can gain broad knowledge from one source. So he kind of explaining it uh, in a book to make us as knowledge about English language in a bigger concept. And in the history, it also talk about Anglo-Saxon, Norman French, and Latin. And in the phonology part, the book is explaining about has some kind of diagrams explaining the abstracting. Also the grammar, I think it also explaining about sentence structure, word classes, morphology, syntax, and also pronunciation. And in the global English, it's explaining about how it's spread around the world and also the accents like American and British accents, and I just mention one right accent, but it has a variety accents because the spread of English around the world. And the second is easy to understand explanation. Like David Crystal explaining complex linguistic topic in accessible language. Like I said, it's provided charts, examples, illustration, and real life samples to help reader understand difficult concepts. So it making the topic more related to us. And the third strength of the book is has visually engaging layout. It's when you open the book, it's kind of interesting because it has a lot of diagrams and visual inside it. And the encyclopedia format includes images, timelines, diagrams, maps, and highlighted sections. This makes the content more interactive and less monotonous than a traditional textbook. And the books kind of provide maps usually in the end of the chapters, explaining about the history. And the weaknesses of the book. The first is a very dense information. Since I said it before, it contains a lot of aspects about English language, not just focusing on one topic. So the book's kinda very dense because it's explaining a lot of things at one time and a lot of details. And for some readers, they might feel overwhelmed, especially beginner with no background in linguistics. So it's very useful for us if we want to know about English language in the bigger picture. And the next is some information may feel outdated because it's kind of old book. Like certain discussion about technology, media, or global English development may not fully reflect the most recent linguistic changes, but it also kind of providing us or giving us a picture about technology in the past. The third, it has limited deep analysis in some sections. Like although the book covers many topics, some chapters provide only introductory explanation rather than detailed theoretical discussion. And it's the reason why the book is worth reading. Because the book has provide a strong foundation for understanding how English works and how it has developed over time, and it is useful for both students and teachers because it combines academic information with clear explanation and visual support. And for students, the book helps improve linguistic knowledge, critical thinking, and awareness of language diversity, and it can also support courses related to grammar, sociolinguistics, phonology and morphology, and the history of English. So if we're going to talking about this, it's better we add other resources, not just this book. And for teachers, the encyclopedia can be used as a reliable reference source for classroom materials, example, and discussion about language variation and language change. And the book is especially valuable because it shows that English is not only a communication tool, but also a reflection of culture, identity, and social development. And the last one, it's the conclusion of the book. So the book of the Cambridge Encyclopedia of the English Language that's written by David Crystal is an informative and engaging resource for understanding the complexity and evolution of English, the potential limitation that I had mentioned. It's broad covered, accessible explanation. Yeah, it's kind of easy to understand the wording, and visual presentation make it highly valuable for students, teachers, and language enthusiasts. And that's what materials or topics that I want to talk about this book. After all, overall, it's very useful books, and the layout it's very interesting one. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.